Hi, this is Andrea for the Learning Bear podcast, your resource for wild professional development. Today, I want to talk about an article that I found on MPR News, which is, I'm going to guess, Minnesota Public Radio. And it's about a program that's going to start turning lawns into pollinator habitat. It is called the Lawns to Legumes program. They just received $900,000 in funding from the Legislative Citizens Commission on Minnesota Resources. And basically, the initiative, if you couldn't tell, is to help homeowners convert their lawns into perennial native plants. And it should help with pollinators having the resources they need. So it's really awesome. So that's going to start out as a 3-year program that will have lots of different parts to it, but it's going to have at least 20 workshops around the state showing homeowners what they need to do and so forth. And the program will also be showcased at the Minnesota State Fair, which is really cool. State fairs, at least in my experience, in the Indiana State Fair is, there's a lot of vendors, and typically they're agricultural based with their animals, showing their animals and so on. If we want to wholeheartedly make a difference as far as what sort of plants we're putting in the ground and how we're taking care of the ecosystem around us, it really does have to start with farmers. And farmers, in my experience, again, I don't feel like they get enough credit. I think that farmers know way more than we do, or the average person does, as far as what the land does or doesn't need, and can probably predict things a lot better than anybody else, aside from maybe some really sophisticated scientists. So I'm really excited about this program. It's going to teach these homeowners how to basically lawnscape their yard. I don't know if that's the right term, but I've read a lot about turning yards into natural habitats. They're still maintained. They're not just like overgrown patches of grass, which I know homeowners associations and so forth don't really approve of that. But it's kind of like a very elaborate garden. I was recently just in North Carolina, this place called the Airlie Gardens. It's spelled AIRLIE. It's in Wilmington, North Carolina. And it's 67 acres of gardens for pollinators. And it's incredible. And I took some pictures throughout the time I was there. I was there for close to 3 hours. And just to see it's all maintained, but it's almost entirely, bushes and flowers and trees and things that flower so that these pollinators have habitat. It's just incredible what they're doing there. And I can't wait to go back. I really want to go back. And they offer a military discount, which is also cool. So I love that they're looking at research showing that small plantings can benefit pollinators a lot. And if you can provide these perennial plants, you can also improve the water quality. You can reduce runoff, which is a huge problem. And you're also thereby improving habitat for birds and other wildlife and other insects as well. So the happier the ground is, the happier the rest of the ecosystem is. And we're going to benefit from that too, which is obviously a bonus. And that's how they're going to market it eventually, I'm sure. So I love that they're looking for collaboration. I do, like I mentioned with the homeowners associations previously, I can see how that could be a struggle. So they're going to have to really cooperate and work together with those groups. But again, I don't think that this lawnscape idea means that it's just run rampant and it's just overgrown and completely unmaintained. It is maintained, and it's maintained in a very careful way, so that you're using natural native plants, and you probably will have to switch them out as the seasons, or at least when you're starting, you'll have to put new ones in as the season changes. And then once you have that sort of so-called infrastructure in place, then it'll bloom throughout the year, and you won't really have to do much maintenance other than to trim stuff back or pull weeds or whatever. So I really think that they can do it. It's just going to take some sweet talking probably. I don't know. I just read this article and I just thought it was a really awesome idea. And I hope that more states become interested in it. I've read a lot about Minnesota in their environmental education programming, which is pretty cool. And they offer grants to schools about it. So I think this is just one more step in the right direction for them. It's really awesome. Check it out. Again, it's on the M as in Martha, prnews.org website. The headline is Big Buzz About Program to Turn Lawns into Pollinator Habitat. The author was Dan Gunderson. So check it out. It's a really cool article. And see if you can get that going in your state. Have a great day and catch you next time. Bye.